Hey guys, it's Mike the Wrestling Godsmith, and you guys are watching On Wrestling. So, this video is about WWE's, their whole thing about they don't want indie wrestlers, because I just heard the story just now, today, and I got something to say about that. And this is what I'm gonna say, and you guys can take, like I said, I'm already a big fan of AEW. I'm probably an AEW fanboy than NXT, because NXT has changed so much that I don't like it. I don't like it because I like Braun Breaker. I like what they're doing with him, but they're bringing everybody, they're bringing anybody that comes in it. Only Dolph Ziggler's only going to NXT because he probably wants to be NXT champion, because he never got to be NXT champion, because he came from OVW to go back in the WWE mid 2009, early 2010. And even when he showed up, he was on Raw as a cheerleader in 2006 and 7. Which between those years are almost 23 years apart. And here's my thing, though. Sorry. Here's my thing. Here's my thing. Is that WWE doesn't know what they want. Them wanting non-indie wrestlers, I kind of get they want to build their own people from scratch and all that other shit. But here's the problem. They can't. They don't know how to build these dudes from scratch. They can get a woman and say she's pretty and she's under 25 and she does athletics, or she's, a gymnastic champion, or even an Olympic person like Gable Stevenson. And this is what I'm saying. The thing is, even if they do more breakout tournaments, even if they get more people to go to do the tryouts, none of them go. None of them become stars because they're too green. And the thing is, I could say this is like Kyle Lowry. I kind of figured that's why he left, because there was nothing for him to do. Literally, he could have been NXT champion, but what was the point of him being NXT champion at this point? He was already a decorated dude anyway. They were never going to put him on the main roster, because for some reason, even if they did, they probably would have told him to turn himself, call himself the Fisherman or some craziness. They don't want to do anything with him. They didn't want to do nothing with him. And I'm sorry to say this, but I just don't really feel as a fan. I like WWE, but I really don't like it, because I'm like, bro, I like it the way it used to be. When the Attitude Era and the Ruthless Aggression Era came in, that was fine. That point in history, we're fine because we knew what we got. But now we're getting all this rinky-dink, all these freaking trivia shows and variety crap. They're giving Matt Riddle and Randy Orton the thing, which I'm okay with. I'm okay with Ray and Dom, but I'm like, bro, they're never going to become stars at their own level, and he's the youngest of them all. They're going to keep bringing back Edge, or they'll keep bringing back Goldberg for a couple more matches or 15 more matches, because in their crazy mind, they really want to do it, because the funny thing is they have nothing to do for Roman. So if Roman keeps building, like I said, Roman's not a bad guy, but if he keeps winning title after title after title after title, what's the point? He's not going to split, because then the realization is that his family basically makes WWE. And Nia, Nia, I don't mind her being Nia, but the problem with Nia, the reason why I think she fell by the wayside, because they were trying to push her so much. She could have been an NXT champion at any point in time. She just never was. She could have been something she wanted to be. Same thing with Tamina. She could have been something. They just didn't do anything with her. They didn't do nothing. They're never going to. And it's...
Who?
Yeah, I'm making a video, Mom.
Oh.
Here's my thing. Guys, I'm sorry for interrupting. They literally have no idea where they want to go, because this is what WWE is. This is what Vince is doing too, because there's no correction. There's nobody creative that knows what to do. Same thing what they didn't do with Clarence Cross. They didn't know what to do with him. He was such a great dude. He had charisma. He had something like Keith Lee. Had charisma. Didn't know what to do with him. And they dicked around with him. They literally changed his name to Bearcat. They changed his entrance and everything else that made him Keith Lee. And I would have been fine with that if they would have booked him and made him strong and let him go against Randy or let him even have a decent match with Bobby. I know he probably could have beat Bobby. He probably could have beat him with no win, but they wanted to book him weak. And the thing is, what I'm saying is, like, the WWE, and this is the one thing I've learned with the WWE next to AEW, that's an indie corporation, but they don't book everybody. Everybody books themselves. So if you have a company that's booking themselves, that means everybody can become a champion. Everybody can be a top guy, a mid-card guy, or a low-card guy. Because, I mean, look, I got a couple examples from AEW, from Sammy Guevara. The dude went from being a mid-card guy, now he's a main event player. He's bringing in dudes to come after him. He's bringing in guys like the talents like Jay White, Jay Lethal, all these dudes who came in to AEW, like Chris Jericho. You have a guy like the legend, like the man, the myth, the legend, Chris Jericho and Andrade. You got those guys in there, but guys from another company. A company that physically made them stars, but he did everything in his cap. That's why he writes every match in his archives that he already knows. The guy's been multi-decorated, multi-champion, like a psychopath. He's been Intercontinental Champion. He's been an Undisputed Champion. He's been Tag Team Champion, World Tag Team Champion, European Champion. And the funny thing about the whole situation with him that WWE can never do, they're never going to make a guy like Chris Jericho. There's not going to be a guy like Kevin Owens. There's not going to be a guy like... And because if Kevin Owens just says, like, listen, you know what? Maybe I'll go over AEW. Or if Killian Dane decides to come back and decide to go to AEW and Nikki decides to go, because I feel like they're going to drop Nikki like a bad habit. Like how Vince gave up with Finn. Finn could literally just go to AEW, become Devitt again. Become Prince Devitt, or just be the Prince again and just go with himself. Just go. Because this is the thing. They're going to keep doing this, guys, because this is what I'm saying. I believe that the WWE itself cannot survive with AEW or any of these other companies like Impact or New Japan or even GCW, that they have all these guys. And there's some of them are ex-WWE guys like Matt Cardona, like W.S. Morrissey, who formerly known as Big Cass, and I've seen what he can do. You got Rhino. You got all these dudes that went to WWE that came back for a certain reason but couldn't be booked right. Like Heath Slater, who's now Heath, which I don't mind Heath Slater. I don't. He's a good guy. I just think he should have been pushed a little bit more. I think when Nexus folded, he shouldn't have been on a single. They should have put him in another faction or said, you know what, Heath, why don't we let you go? Come back when you have a gimmick or an idea what you want to do. That would have been the smart thing. Same thing they did with Drew when he came at 21, and he was in American Champion like in 9 months. The thing is that they were trying to make Drew the next Brock Lesnar, like how Brock Lesnar came up in 5 months and did his thing, and then he just split and he came back. They don't this is the thing I'm trying to explain to you guys. Like, WWE as a company as a whole, nobody ever really looks into them like I do. I know what they want to do. They make movies, they do wrestling movies, they do regular movies. They try to get every bit of energy that they can get, and it's the same mentality of like, what are we going to do? And I'm feeling bad for NXT because NXT's got a lot of talent that they're not even digging into because, either when they get up to Raw, like Vince is like, you got the charisma, you got this, but you're missing something. This is his thing, bro. He doesn't bring to, like, this is the thing. You got a guy like Billy Gunn who has 2 sons, and the smart thing is I would have called Billy and like, yo, Vince, or Vince would have been like, yo, Billy, do you want your sons to be in NXT, or do you want your sons to be on Raw with you, or can we make them stars? No. And matter of fact, I actually remember the Young Bucks, one of the Young Bucks being in SmackDown. I actually remember it. Because the thing is, he could have been, with Kenny Omega, he wasn't their type. What did he do? He went in the Indies, it was like the trades, he went over there, he became an Insta star. Same thing with AJ Styles. Everybody knows about AJ Styles, and look what AJ Styles is becoming. A guy that's literally becoming a watered-down version of Shawn Michaels or a watered-down version of something, or DDP. He is not what when he first showed up. When the Phenomenal One showed up to the WWE, I thought it was going to change him. I thought he would be like, they would have made him like a main event guy. He would have had a really good title reign and not a lackluster one. He didn't even need to be in a rivalry with John Cena. He actually didn't need to be. He could have just had a match with John Cena, had a match with Kevin Owens, had a match with Chris. And the thing is, when he showed up, they were like, we got the biggest free agent in wrestling, which is AJ Styles. The guy's, the dude's a New Japan vet. He's been doing it for 30 years, and nobody even understands that maybe if he decides to go to AEW and the Bullet Club becomes a bigger faction, the dude's going to be like, I can go to AEW, be a star, everybody would know me, and I would get a massive pop because everybody likes AJ Styles. Say that with Keith Lee, and I'm going to give a great example, is because this dude, Keith Lee went to AEW, got signed literally 5 months ago. And Tony Khan's like, I'm opening the forbidden door. WWE is trying to build the forbidden door and open it again and try to create these new runs. They can't. There's not going to be a guy like Matt Hardy or Jeff. There's not going to be an extremist guy. You can't. Because even if you could build your talent and build your superstar, who's really gonna care? Because we lose interest. As a wrestling fan, as a YouTuber, you don't gain nothing from it. The WWE is literally dead because nobody understands that AEW is walking and giving us 5-star matches without even trying. And this is the thing about watching an episode of Rampage or watching an episode of Dynamite. Everybody loves it because everybody's getting a story. WWE's giving us the same old story that they've been trying to feed us down our throat. They don't know what to do with Chad Gable, but they give him Otis, so they're like, okay, we can make him the Alpha Academy. We can make him a tag team. Okay. Good idea. The smart thing what they should have did when Jason Jordan showed up and Kurt Angle was there, Kurt Angle should have been like, why don't I make you guys the new Team Angle? I got an idea. Bring Shelton Benjamin back. That way he'd be like, okay, I can lead you guys. You guys want to be new American Alpha? Let's do that. Let's become champions again. Let's do that. Let me make you guys a champion. I'll take you under my wing. Nope. This is what I get for Shelton Benjamin. This is what I get for Cedric Alexander. Those dudes could have been something too. And he was a bright star. Dude had a big future. You know what they did with the Hurt Business? Broke him up for no reason. Nothing at all. And Bobby's going to have a championship, maybe a 2-3 title reign, maybe a 5-time champion, if they even decide to keep the belt on the dude. Because apparently it's going to be Roman and Brock for the next 2-3 years. And what I'm saying to you guys before I end this video, I love Ronda Rousey, but I really believe WWE is just using her for the namesake. Just like Goldberg, because he's a 57-year-old vet, and because this dude's not 30, because when he first showed up 12 years ago to the date, or 13 years ago to the date, I'd rather them even consider. I don't mind Triple H trying to do the best he can and bring a shock value, but this isn't Trips. This is Vince. Because as a fan, guys, and I'm being honest with you, as a wrestling fan, I like to see guys that are really good guys. I'm seeing dudes on the indies. That's why I watch the indie stuff. I study it. Because I've seen AJ Styles. I knew who he was because I've seen him in another company in New Japan and all this stuff I was watching. And I'm like, if the brain part of my brain is thinking, you know what? We got Jay. We got Jay White. And I'm thinking to myself, Jay White's probably going to be the biggest thing ever. He's probably going to be in that ladder match at Face of the Revolution because I got a gut feeling he's going to be there. I got a gut feeling that Jeff's going to be there in March. Which is literally a month away, but I already got that feeling because he's going to make a massive pop. You know what they're going to do with Jeff? You know what? They're going to be like, Jeff, what do you want to do? They're going to make him he's going to be able to do everything he wants. Ladder matches, he's going to probably want to take on Darby, a bunch of dudes literally that probably idolize him and Sting. All these dudes that idolize the Hardy Boys and stuff. I would want to see that. And this is what I'm saying, guys. Like, this is what I'm making to you. That the WWE as a whole, this WWE not wanting new indie. It's not just they don't want indie people. They want to make their own people. The WWE disconnects every bloody year. That's why the Royal Rumble, the men's Royal Rumble, is such lackluster. I could have thought of anybody for number 30 spot. Even The Rock. Anyone. And the problem is, you know what? And I look at the guys like from past, I look at the guys like Hulk Hogan. I can understand he doesn't want to wrestle anymore because his body's kind of out of it. I can see Edge doing his Edge came back 9 years ago today, and he's still loved. He's still the greatest opportunist they made. They made him into the old time because he was already established. Christian, already established. What did he do? He said, you know what, guys? Since you fired me, I'm going to go to TNA and become a bigger star in TNA. I'm going to come back. Multiple times. I'm going to come back. They fired him, gave him one last match. I'm going to come back. I'm going to try to go against... I'm going to come back as a Hall of Famer. I'm going to do that. I'm going to make a TV show for you guys. And then I'm going to go in the Men's Royal Rumble at number 27 or number 28. I can't remember. I'm going to go in the Royal Rumble. Try to win it. Couldn't win it. Said, okay. I don't want to be a greatest hits. AEW opens up. I'm going to go to AEW. I'm going to be an Impact champion over there. I'm going to be the Impact player over there. I'm going to teach some guys. You see, it would be so phenomenal, even in today's world, that WWE thinks that everybody's going to go with them. Nobody really goes with them. And I'm going to take a little bit of an idea. I'm going to take a little bit of a short break, guys. But like I said, this is my break to this sense. And Billy Corgan, NWA, all these other companies that are still alive today. Like Jim Crockett. The guy who created the Crockett Cup for the NWA and Ring of Honor. And, when I thought about it, too. Like, NWA and Ring of Honor, those dudes, they could beat WWE. Because you know why they can beat them? You know how they can beat them? Because they're going to have all that untapped talent. Because Tony Khan's like, you know what? I got a deal for you. You could take one of my guys, put him on NWA. I could take one of your guys, put him in AEW. That's what they did. It's the biggest guy they could get for GCW, which is Nick Bloody Gage, man. Him. You take Nick Gage from DCW, the guy, the king of the death matches. Him. And then, you know what else you do? You take a guy like Andrade, then you're going to take another brother, because I already know they're going to bring some more people. Brody King was just something they just brought in. Because if Bray decides to come around or whatever, if he just says, you know what, I'm still going to do the Bray Wyatt thing, but I'm going to do it differently, it's going to be a war. And they think, everybody thinks that Keith's going to flop over it, and no. Keith Lee's going to flourish at AEW. That's what I said, like when in my tagline, AEW became limitless 2 days ago. They became limitless. And I gotta say, guys, like I said, I don't care if you guys are a fan of WWE or NXT, but I'm telling you, from a YouTuber's perspective, from a fan's perspective, it's not even worth watching. It's not. I don't watch NXT. I don't watch it because I like AEW and all these other stuff that come out because maybe that's the variety of a wrestling fan. It's great to be a wrestling fan in 2022 because we're getting so many things we thought we'd never get. We're going to have a dream match. And it's going to be Keith Lee and Hangman. And it's going to be Keith Lee and Adam Cole one more time. And it's going to be them one more time. Because I think when Bobby comes back and Kyle, and Kyle comes back from having a baby, being a dad, he's going to come back and be like, you know what? I got it. Then there's going to be more factions and more people. How they got Martinez. Martinez is going to be great. She's going to be the toughest woman out there. And it's going to be fun. I can't wait to see Thunder Rosa do a no disqualification lights out match. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun, guys. I'm telling you. But anyway, guys, like, comment, subscribe. Peace.